Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. This is Connie. I want to welcome everybody back. Today I'm going to be putting the final ghost together, Dracula. Excuse me. And then I will also be putting the project together with you, and I'll share the final project of the other three. So I'm going to just go ahead and get started. This might be a little bit of a long video. If you don't want to watch this, just want to see what I made, just jump forward. I don't know when it will be in the video, but you can just go forward. Okay, so I get my glue. I've drawn the face, the mouth in already, just in case the, excuse my reach here, mouth didn't completely cut really good. I could draw it in if I needed, and it did in this one. I'm putting this part on first. The lips, I don't know if you can see here, and his little fangs are so tiny. I'm afraid before I get too involved, I'm going to somehow lose those. So normally I wouldn't do this, but because the lips are drawn on, I know exactly where they're going. I'm good with this. And I'm just trying to put some glue on here. And yes, I put a lot on. I just kind of blot it off, and then it won't be so bad. So without getting my head right on top of this, do my best to get this where it belongs. Okay, and then these miniature lips, this little pink piece here, if you can see that. I'm a little behind on videos. I've had a couple requests for things, and I will get them done. I do apologize. I was at medical appointments all day Friday, so, and it was, wow, just too incredibly hot to do any videos. So before I put his fangs on, I want to do this little mark. I don't know if you can see it. It's almost, I don't know why, I can just see the natural little mark in his tongue. Of course, my pen doesn't want to write today. I just put that little black, I just try to put the tiniest bit of a curve, and I just think it just gives so much dimension on his mouth. Not something you have to do, please. Okay, now his fangs. I don't know how to explain this. If you look at them, and you can't see them, I'm sure, on video, but it almost, to me, here, maybe if I put them on my finger, and it will help me also. I don't think I marked the back of them. No. They have sorry if you can hear the neighbor's dog. They almost have a bit of a natural way they're cut. So I'm going to put this one on first. I'm sorry, I am just thinking I'm going to lose these, and not something I can cut very easy manually. I've tried. Okay. Put right here. Even to pick them up. My finished piece for all my ghosts was at about 4 inches. So naturally, things are going to be a little bit, smaller. So if you cut the piece to file bigger, you're going to have a lot less trouble. All right, I'm good to go on that. I'm just going to go ahead and finish this, just because it'll make it easier to put the rest together. So you have the 2 eyepieces, And if you're new to my channel, I'll just explain quick. On the eyes, there's a little bit of an indent on, I can't see it very good, on one side. There's a tiny indent. This one just comes down to more, curved, and then it's straight. So the indent goes to the middle, and the whites of the eyes, it's more pronounced on there. They have that same indent. The only reason I inked my eyes, the whites of my eyes, which I normally don't do, is white on white does not show up. So I did choose to put some gray on them, and it will make them show. Even if you do the the black pan pastels, around part of it, still doesn't go around the whole eye. So it just, for me, I just like to do that. It just shows up good. Okay, let's figure out where we want his nose. After I'm this far in, I realized it didn't have a light on. I thought it was a little bit dark. Apologize for that. Let's see, I don't want glue on the top half of his nose yet, just because I wasn't going to glue that down. I was just going to dry piece it. I don't know. I don't think I'm quite awake yet. It's very possible. So I often curve the eyes up just a little bit, not that much, but just to give you an idea what I mean. I would do that. So that's what I was kind of rearranging his eye the slightest bit. I don't put these down tight until they are where I want them, and making sure they're kind of the same. I was hoping to get fairly close, or fairly, even from end of cheek to end of cheek. So this one, and yet centered in his nose, so we're good with that. Okay, now we're gonna do the pan pastels, and I used black. That was for another color. I wonder how in the world, I work in a very tiny space. I have like the crickets on one of my tables, and excuse my reach here. There they are. I knew I had more. I work on like tables that are 4 foot long by about 2 foot wide. It's just what works for me, and what I have room for. I never can find stuff. I really need to clean. About a third of one of my tables that I work on is taken up by projects that I need to get videoed. So, okay, enough of that. Let's get on these little, I don't know what they're called. I would have to look again. And I will be doing a video on this, but these little brush things have become one of my best friends for paper piecing. I really like them. I was fighting with paintbrush because that's really all I knew. I don't know where I picked that up, but I think on a very old video. So happy to have learned about these. I still often have to use my eraser, but it's all good. In fact, I don't know, I got a little bit of a glitch here. I don't know what I did, but got hooked up on something. So to try to, I might just have to fix it with the marker. Excuse me. Being out yesterday, it was extremely humid and didn't help things. Oh, right. Because I want his cheeks to shimmer because he's a ghost, right? I'm going to use my pink pan pastels that have some glitter in them. And normally I probably would have put this on before the black, because sometimes the black or the pink and the black get mixed up and it's hard to get it erased good. And if you're a return subscriber, you know I have to put a lot of blush on. I don't know why. It's fairly even. I don't wear makeup, so I don't know what the deal is, but okay. Do his eyelashes. Time for a new black pen pretty soon. Good thing school's starting so I can use them at school to write for a while. That's what I do. I don't just take out a new pen and start using it on my paper piecing. I write with it for quite a while so it gets somewhat dried out. Otherwise I tend to get globs of ink, so I don't like that. I want to look at one thing here. It's a little bit bigger. One moment. I'm sorry. I was looking to see how I did my noses on the others. I wanted them somewhat similar. Now I'm going to leave the white gel pen a little while. I don't think this will show up on there. A little bit. I don't want to put the whites of the eyes in until that's dry. Now, let's get working on this Dracula. We've got his red, the top of his cape. Oh, this is his hair. Wow, I'm really, Oh, that's right. These two pieces keep wanting to stick together. No problem. Let's put his hair on. It has to go on too, so we'll just have extra glue on there I gotta take off. And this goes right down to the curve there. Where that point is, it goes down that far. So it's good. But let me take off a little bit of glue here. Okay. Now let's work on his cape. Put him off to the side. You've got two pieces with the holes cut out. They just get layered on top. I use white pigment ink from Stampin' Up. It's probably, I know it is the only pigment ink that I have that I would use, but I don't have good luck with StazOn white ink, so I use Stampin' Up white pigment ink on black. You wouldn't have to do this. It probably, like on this piece, especially, it doesn't show so much. Just a personal preference, really. Okay, one thing I did do ahead of time was his tie. There is a, well, for this size I did it, a very tiny piece that goes in the middle. I glued it together already just because I didn't, that's about as bad as the piece in the mouth. I didn't want to lose it, so that I did do. I'm going to put the head on because the rest of the pieces can go on after this. So, and today, probably one of the few times I do this, but I am putting his head on straight. I can't remember exactly how. No, I'm going to put it this way. I think I remember how I had the rest of the project, so I'll go this way. You might have to put his bow tie on before you put his head on, or just make sure you can put it underneath, depending upon the size you make it. It's completely up to you. I can get mine under there just a little bit. So that's that part. Get the black. Now the coat, or his cape, I should say. This is a little bit trickier because part of his cape down here is going to be on top of here. So what I'm going to do, I'm only going to glue just the top, third or so of the cape and put it on. And it will match up exactly with the top, so the bottom pieces match up. Now I'm going to put the ghost on. Part of his body is going to go underneath here and underneath here. Also, his arms are going underneath the cape. So what I'm going to do, let's see, kind of figure out exactly where glue goes for him. And I'm only putting it about this far. I can always add a little more. Make sure I get it under the cape. And I'm just trying to look approximately, yeah, that's just about where it goes on the picture. Just the closest I can get it. So now I'm going to put the little hands on. I think I said arms before. That was not correct. They go up a little bit more, so. And they don't have to be exactly where the picture has them. That's not the point. I'm just getting as close as I can. And I'm working upside down so I can kind of see what I'm doing better. Okay, now I'm just going to put some glue on here. Glue it down. And these little marks here, get this straight. These are also just put on with white pigment ink. I just use a sponge dauber to do that. If you're not comfortable doing that, just use a pom-pom, or like a 5mm pom-pom would work. Excuse me. Otherwise, worst comes to worst, you can, if you have white chalk, you can do it with that, or yeah, or like a white colored pencil. Okay, now this, I had the cape up, there's the top of his cape too high. I'm just gonna put it somewhere on here, and then just so I'm comfortable, I'm just gonna put a little bit above the curve and right at the curve, and it should hold it better. let's see, it's down just a little bit and make sure it's even, or for me, close to even. Okay, go in and put some white in his eyes, and I might have to fix those eyes a little bit. I see. Okay. And there is Dracula. I need to get the glue lid on my glue. I'm going to go ahead and start on the project that they're going on, that they've all been put on. I think it's the light that I can't see the glue bottle, the lid. I don't know. Couldn't possibly be my eyes, right? I got it. I'm going to move Dracula out of the way a bit and bring in my pieces, and I'll get started on this. I am making paper bag treat holders. I started with a paper bag that is 5 inches wide, and I think, let's see, just looking, it was probably about 10 inches long. You can choose whatever size you want. I just folded at its natural fold here with the flap for the bottom, and then I cut it off at the top so it is 5.5 inches tall. So let me find my ATG gun. What I do is this flap here from the bottom of the sack, I do glue just right here. This looks so strange to me. Oh, here, that's why I hit. So here it's open. Here's where it's going to naturally fold. The bottom of the flap, the sack, I'm gluing this flap down first, okay? And then I'm going to glue it along here. And use a different glue this time. You can use your ATG gun if you wish. I have problems with things getting stuck. So where this flap is, I'm just gluing up along the sides. You've probably seen these made before. This is by no means new. I just wanted something that I didn't have to cut a lot of paper, and that was fairly inexpensive, to be honest with you. I am not sure if I'm giving it to the students I'll be tutoring, or if I'm going to be giving it to my great nieces and nephews. I haven't decided, but either way, I didn't want anything that was, this is why I use liquid glue. Before I put that flap down, I forgot I gotta put my piece in here. I would give dimensions for these. However, if you're not using the same size bag, it's just better to mat them however you wish. Some people use 1/4 of an inch. I use 1/8 of an inch on my matting most of the time. So, and I'm just gluing this down here. I'll show you in a moment. So I've got this. It'd be just as quick to use my ATG gun, but now I've got my glue here. So this is what happens when I work on film. Nothing ever, when I'm videoing, I get ahead of myself, things don't work. So it's always best to watch the whole video and then go back and put it together. Okay. Now I'm going to use some glue on there. I probably will put some reptile glue also, just because it grabs a little bit quicker than the beacon. Okay, I'm going to mat the bottom flap, and let's pray this wants to cooperate this morning. I'm just using up lots of scraps of paper, so my Halloween paper and whatnot. You don't have to double mat these, you know. I'm just giving you some inspiration. Do whatever works for you. If you have questions, by all means, please leave a comment. I'll get back to you. I just like to share what I'm doing and hope that you guys find some inspiration. So I was going to have this out. And of course, it's not handy. Take a quick look. No. Well, the stamps I used for both this and my tag, I'll show you in a moment, are from Jaded Blossom. I think it's Halloween Poop and Halloween Poop 2. I'm not sure. Anyway, on one of them there's a great stamp for if you're gifting Halloween treats, but it's either like an older, like a teenager that doesn't go out trick-or-treating, or, you know, like friends or something. It's fun to give things, but they don't go out, you know, it's too old to trick-or-treat, obviously. So yeah, there's a really cute saying on there, to gift treats. And this scalloped circle was cut with a Spellbinder's die, and then I just stamped on a doily, and I cut them in half. So the doily was 4 inches, so the Spellbinder's die is about the same. And I only did this because the bag still looked really, really incomplete. I just can't, I don't know, it just wasn't finished. So okay, before I get too more involved, I'm going to put my border pieces on, and this is Martha Stewart Dippy Doo. I don't remember the name of it. It's an old punch. I don't even know if it's around anymore. I know there are quite a few cut files you can get that have something similar to it if you're interested. If it's not exact, it's a treat bag, they're gonna throw it away anyway. I just had fun decorating them. So, and then I'm doing the bottom the same here. I think I got that one cut pretty much the right length. For this one, because of the black and the red, I'm going with the black and the red, just keeping it going. This oval, both of the ovals are from the Spellbinders. I don't know if it's the classic ovals, small. Not sure. It's, again, very old set. It's what I've had in my stash. So And again, it's, you know, whatever you choose to use. It's nothing that you have to use what I'm using. So, oh, I need that in a moment or two. I'm popping this up, but keep in mind if you do, you only have to do what part that goes up to the, right here, the top of your first flap there. Otherwise, it'll show over, so I cut that little piece off, I think. And I can move this up just a hair. Yeah. I also have done a stamp for the front of it, Vampire Vitamins. That's also for part of the Jaded Blossom stamp set. There are quite a few stamps in there. They had a big sale just recently, and I think I got them for under $10 each, so I did really good on that. Okay. And then I popped the vampire up, so let me put the glue lid here quick, or not. Ugh. I don't want that tripping on my project here. Okay. Put it over there. And I seem to use a lot of tape. Excuse me. Dimensional, so I'll try to be a little more conservative this time. Duthan, what am I doing? That'll work. Okay. So curious, if you leave a comment what you're working on, I would love to know. You can, by all means, leave a, I would love if you did, you can leave a picture on my Facebook fan page. I've had people do that. I enjoy seeing what you guys are working on. Always fun to know what others are creating or, you know, doing. I'm just not sure. I want to get back into scrapbooking and stuff, and yet I have some, like I said, some of these things I'm working on, and I enjoy doing this too, so I can't quite make up my mind. I love doing cards. It's just eventually I'll just kind of calm down, I think, finally with, hopefully, with medical things, and that will help an immense deal. Okay, oh, I see we had a little slip here. Little dude. It'll come off there. All right, I am going to put some glue on my tape now, or my foam. And we can get him glued down. Sorry, I'm just putting glue on my guy here. And I just pop him on. Now that tail isn't tall enough, but it will still hold it. Excuse me, one moment. It will still hold it if it does come down a little bit. You could add another piece of foam tape, but I will just make a mess, so we'll just leave it. Trying to figure out where I want to put this. It's got to be down here somewhere. Well, let's see if we can move this just a hair, so it's not sticking out quite so far. I'm going to put it right there. So just putting glue on part of it, and a small part of foam tape just on that little bit there, just to support it on the end here. I'll show you in a minute. I just put a small amount of foam tape right in here. I might have to adjust it where it's gotta go, but okay, I thought I had this in here that I could fit it under, that you could still read it. Okay, now I'm just tucking under that foam just a little bit so it doesn't hang over the edge here. Good. And it should have had a little piece here, but it's fine. If it sinks in, to me it'll just curve and it's quite fine. Okay, just a couple more pieces to put on. I think we'll use other glue. First of all, I did this tag. It's just cut from my stash, and then this die is also, I heat embossed the stamped image in white. The buttons, all of the buttons on my projects that I'll be showing you are all from Buttons Galore and More. And then I just had some baker's twine in my stash. So before I put that in there, I want to put on my bat. I'll just put him down here. And I don't know if I put like a couple mini candy bars in the small pocket right here in front with the tag, and then I was thinking maybe a packaged cookie or something in the back. I don't know. I haven't decided yet exactly, so it's the last thing I have, because this just, it must be me, but it just looks blah. So I put this. And this was cut from a no-name die. It's just a vine. And I'm going to start by putting glue at the bottom, and then I'll figure out where the glue needs to go after that. And I did not do any shaping of this with water or anything. This one I just left plain. So put it under the black. Why doesn't want to stick? I think part of it is humidity, but it's under the oval piece here. And then this can be shaped some, so because it's just like 65-pound weight paper. It's not heavy, which is nice. I'm putting this under the oval. I don't want it to get into way of his cape top. Now you want to make sure you're mindful of your pocket, okay? But since I'm on the very edge over here, I'm just going to put glue on this leaf. Can't get a hold of it. On this top leaf. And then the second one down. And then glue those two on. They'll hold there. And then there's still, you can get into the pocket very easily, so it's good. And then I tuck this in here. Like I said, that's probably where I will put a couple little, the fun size, I think they're called candy bars, like the Hershey's flat ones, just because they'll sit in there the best. And so that is that finished project. I will get the other ones and show you how they turned out. Get that out of the way. So we did Frankenstein, and again I put some same die set for the leaves, just a little bit different. I did end up putting the glossy accents on with a little bit of glitter, and the buttons, this has a shank, this and these three do not, but they're all from Buttons Galore and More. And again, stamp set is from Jaded Blossom. And then these tags are either, well, I'll show you, but some are on black and then they're stamped in white. Some are a white background and then I stamped in black. So fun little treat bags. And then we did the witch. Oh, so sorry I bumped the camera there. So here is the witch. She's a cute little thing. I thought that witch on the broom kind of fit here. I love the sayings they have on the stamps. You know, you could find some kind of candy to fit that if you're doing a different type of treat container if you're doing it, but whatever. I did not do anything with the backs. I may come back and do that yet, but probably will leave them plain. Just, you know, they're busy enough. And then here is the mummy. And here I was going to show you, I did black embossing on white tags. Otherwise it was black tags, white embossing with the black. That's not what I wanted to show you. I did that wrong. Let's see. No, that's right. Yeah, the other ones were black tags with white embossing. So anyway, it however it worked, but yeah, so just to give you some inspiration, that's all I wanted to show you. So do want to thank you all for joining me. Have an awesome day, everybody. Take care.